What did the IRP of Go First tell the Delhi High Court? Who sold the entire stake in HDFC Life? And who has given a loan to Vedanta's parent company? After how many years has Coal India increased prices, and how did Suzlon Energy turn from loss to profit? Answers to all these questions will be in focus in today's episode. First up, let's talk about the updates from the corporate world. A Mauritius-based Wadia Group company that together with its affiliates indirectly holds a stake in Britannia Industries could take center stage in a face-off between Go First and its bankers. The consortium of PSU banks funding Go First believes that collateral provided by Mauritius-based Leela Lands for the loans taken from Deutsche Bank is disproportionately higher compared to what was transferred for their loans. The bankers basically want loans taken from Deutsche Bank to be collateralized in a common security pool. In further news, interim resolution professional of the airline informed the Delhi High Court that if lessors take possession of the aircraft, it would stop the airline's operations and lead to significant losses. The move would lead to deregistration of aircraft by the DGCA and scuttle the resolution process. The IRP also added that returning aircrafts to the lessors will render the airline dead and over 7,000 of its employees will be rendered jobless. HDFC Life Insurance shares rose on Wednesday after UK-based Aberdeen, formerly known as Standard Life Aberdeen, sold its entire stake of 1.66% in the Mumbai-based life insurer through block deals. Aberdeen sold 3.6 crore HDFC Life shares at 565 to 585 rupees per share on Wednesday, making the transaction worth about 2,010 crore rupees. According to some media reports, HDFC Bank, India's largest private sector bank, will acquire the entire stake of Aberdeen in HDFC Life from its joint venture partner. In the past 1 month, HDFC Life shares have gained 9% after the RBI allowed HDFC Bank or HDFC to increase their shareholding in HDFC Life and HDFC Ergo to more than 50%. Shares of Sona BLW Forgings dived up to 5.5% in the yearly trade on Wednesday, May 31st. Actually, there was a big block deal in the shares of this company, after which the stock slipped. But in the last half an hour of the trading, the stock was excellent and recovery was seen, and the closing was almost 6% higher at 565 rupees. The reason behind the initial fall was the price of the block deal, which was at a discount of more than 5% from Tuesday's closing. 2.1 crore shares or 3.7% stake of this company was blocked at a price of 507 rupees per share. And so the total value of the deal was 1,093 crore rupees. According to media reports released on May 30th, one of the promoters of the company, Oris Investment, was planning to sell 3.25% stake. Glencore International, one of the world's largest natural resource companies, has given a $250 million loan to Vedanta Group's parent company, Vedanta Resources Limited, that is VRL. For this loan, 4.4% stake of Vedanta, which is a listed company in India, has been pledged. This amount will be used by VRL on payment of due bonds on May 31st. That is, VRL will be able to avoid the crisis of its debt payment with this amount. VRL has to pay $4.1 billion in FY24 in the current financial year. Experts believe that the loan given by Glencore can be strategic, and this can be the first step by Swiss company Glencore towards the purchase of stake in Vedanta, that is an Indian company. The promoters of Kalpataru Projects International, that is KPIL, have sold about 6% stake in the company through a bulk deal on Tuesday. Kalpataru Projects International was earlier known as Kalpataru Power Transmission. The stakes sold through the open market was valued at 468 crore rupees, as the shares were sold in the range of 485.06 to 485.75 rupees. According to the bulk deal data released by BSE, one of the promoters of the company, Parag Mofatraj Munot, and two promoter group entities, Kalpataru Constructions Private Limited and Kalpataru Vinyog, have sold 96.34 lakh shares of KPIL. According to the data, Munot has sold 73.24 lakh shares, Kalpataru Constructions 10 lakh shares, and Kalpataru Vinyog 13.10 lakh shares, equaling to 5.93% share in total. After this deal, the promoter and promoter group stake in this company has come down to 41.31%, which was 47.24% by the end of March 2023. Coal India, the world's largest state-owned coal producer, has announced an 8% increase in thermal coal prices. The increased prices have come into effect from May 31st onwards. The company has increased the prices for the first time since January 2018. Thermal coal prices have been increased for the first time in 5 years. Due to the increase in prices, Coal India's income has been estimated to increase by 2,703 crore rupees in the remaining period of the financial year 2023-24. Let us also tell you that thermal coal is used in power plants to generate electricity, and also to be noted is that only last week Coal India had entered into a wage revision agreement with its 2,38,000 non-executive workers, which we had told you about in the episode number 21 of Corporate Central. Process of reduction in the valuation of Indian startups by foreign investors continues. The world's largest asset management company, BlackRock, has cut the valuation of the country's most valuable edtech startup Byju's by 62%. BlackRock has reduced the valuation of Byju's to just $8.2 billion, which was estimated at $22 billion in October last year. BlackRock has about 1% stake in Byju's parent company, Think and Learn Private Limited, and apart from this, the fund management company Fidelity Investment has reduced the valuation of social commerce platform Meesho by 10%. Earlier, the valuation of Meesho was estimated at $4.9 billion, which has now been reduced and fixed to $4.4 billion. Well, that was all about corporates. Now let's take a look at those market stocks that were in the limelight and also analyze the reason behind it. First up, we're talking about the stock of Suzlon Energy, the country's largest wind turbine maker, saw a jump of up to 11% on Wednesday, and the reason behind this jump is the company's excellent performance in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, the company has returned to profit from losses. In the March quarter, the company registered a consolidated profit of 320 crore rupees, while the company had a loss of 205.5 crore rupees in the same quarter last year. However, this profit includes one-time profit or exceptional income of 251.5 crore rupees. Apart from this, during the quarter, the company's total income declined by 31.4% year-on-year from 2,478.7 crore rupees to 1,700 crore rupees. Working profit increased more than 2 times to 232.7 crore rupees due to reduction in costs. Total expenses during the quarter declined by 35.2% from 2,511.7 crore rupees to 1,628.4 crore rupees. Shares of KRBL, a company involved in the production of India Gate Basmati rice, saw a decline of more than 10% on Wednesday. The company's operating performance has been weak in the fourth quarter. Although the company's income and profits have increased during the quarter, there has been a pressure on operating profits and margins. In the March quarter, profit increased by 8.2% at 118 crore rupees. Income has increased by 29.6% at 1,279.7 crore rupees, but the working profit has decreased by 11.5% and has come down to 143.9 crore rupees. Operating margin decreased from 16.5% year-on-year to 11.2%. The decrease in the margin is due to a higher share in export sales of bulk non-basmati. Non-basmati contributed 11% to the total export sales. An order of the company was cancelled and the company had to sell its goods in another country at lower price, due to which the margins are lower. The stock of household appliances maker Eureka Forbes saw a big jump for the second consecutive day. On Wednesday, May 31st, the stock saw an increase of more than 14%. The stock has jumped nearly 29% in the past 2 days. The reason is the strong results of the fourth quarter. In quarter 4, the company's profit has increased by 346.3% to 20.6 crore rupees. And if you look at the quarterly basis, then the profit has increased by almost 3 times. Income during this period increased by 35.9% year-on-year to 508.6 crore rupees. Operating profit has increased by 35.6% and operating margin has increased from 6.3% to 9.3%. That is, margin has improved by 3% year-on-year. By the way, the stock is in action before the results itself, and this is because Eureka Forbes stock in the last 1 month has given a return of about 32% and also in 1 year about 56%. Strong action was seen in the stock of a textile business company, Indocount Industries, on Wednesday. The stock closed with a gain of nearly 10%, and during the day, the stock touched a high of 177.75 rupees, which is also the highest level of 52 weeks. Earlier, the stock had made a high of 169.75 rupees on August 30th, 2022, which was crossed on Wednesday. The reason is the strong business performance or operational performance in the fourth quarter. In quarter 4, the company's profit has increased by 11% year-on-year to 94.7 crore rupees. But looking at quarter by quarter wise, the profit was increased by 2.5 times. Earnings was up by 23% at 807.1 crore rupees, with operating performance remaining strong. Operating profit was up by 35.6% at 47.4 crore rupees. Meanwhile, operating margin have improved by 3.24%. Operating margin has improved from 14.66% to 17.9%. And that's all tonight on Corporate Central. But before we get going, leaving you with some important corporate events and triggers which will have the potential to make big market impacts. On May 31st, impact of India's quarter 4 FY23 GDP figures, which came at 6.1%, will be seen on a Thursday, and also changes in MSCI after market closing on May 31st, wherein Adani Trans, Adani Total Gas were excluded from MSCI, while Max Healthcare, Sona BLW, HAL were included. Globally, impact of a European Central Bank's financial stability report on Europe. And on June 1st, auto sales figures for May will be released, and a government to reduce subsidy on electric two-wheeler as well. Also, Escort's Kubota will increase price of tractors. Meanwhile, Honda to hike City and Amaze prices by up to 1% on June 1st. Board meeting on raising capital of AB Capital on June 1st, where the board will consider issuing shares on preferential basis. Also, Shree Cement's dividend ex-date of 55 rupees per share is on June 1st. And interviews for the post of Deputy Governor of RBI will begin on June 1st. Also, candidates will be shortlisted for the MD position of 5 public sector banks. Globally, on June 1st, Europe's May CPI inflation figures to be released, and minutes of ECB's policy meeting will be released. And with that, it's a wrap on Corporate Central tonight. But catch all the other detailed updates on corporates, and for all the latest personal finance updates, log into Money9's website www.money9.com. See you again tomorrow, same time. Until then, keep watching Money9.